And I do want to take you out to this video that we are just getting into our newsroom here as first responders are on the scene after a driver plowed into a veterinary clinic over in Wilmington, rupturing a natural gas line, causing a fire and injuring 3 firefighters. That is according to local media. Wilmington police saying a driver veered off the road and struck the Eastern Carolina Vet Referral Building. That was around 11:30 this morning. But again, all of this video and information just coming into our newsroom. They hit the gas line to the building, and the driver left the scene, we're told, but was quickly apprehended, again, according to local media that was citing the police department. Footage taken by Jordan Branyan, that's what you're seeing right there on your screen, shows moments after the impact. The vet clinic's website states that it would be open for business starting September 15th, so about a month from now. We know that 3 firefighters were injured in the incident, according to police, and officials advised people to stay away from the scene of that active investigation. Again, video there that is very hard to look at, as you can see all of the smoke and the debris that is falling from the sky. Officials there on the scene providing some brief comments here. I do want to play them for you on Live Now from Fox.
Explosion. There were no civilians inside, only fire personnel. Upon the explosion, there was flames showing obviously through the roof, and so we evacuated the building. 3 firefighters were injured during that explosion and evacuation. They have since been taken to the hospital, 2 with non-life-threatening injuries and 1 with severe injuries to the hands, burn injuries to the hands and arms.
When you first arrived on the scene, what went through your head with all this debris and just everything happening?
Obviously, it's scary, but this is what we train for every day, and so they just kick into gear, right? And they know what they got to do in their gear. We're here to make sure that the job gets done.
Forgive me if this is asked, but how do you feel that your firefighters, your team responded in this manner? Did they do a good job? Or?
Absolutely. We train every day to make sure that we're ready for something at this level, and so absolutely they did a great job. They're still actively doing a great job. The gas has been shut off at this point, which is what you were hearing earlier, that loud hissing noise. The gas has been shut off. We just still got a couple hot spots we're hitting on, but at this point we're sitting a lot better than we were about an hour ago.
Do you have an estimation how long this road will be closed at all?
I don't have any idea at this point.
Can you talk about, this isn't your normal house fire, things that you guys respond to every day, and having to take on something that challenges, I guess, a building so large like this?
Sure, a building this size definitely presents more challenges. You need more manpower, you need more resources, and so we're fortunate to have partners like PD and New Hanover County Fire and EM and EMS to be able to be here and show some real force against this obstacle ahead of us.
How big of a relief when you found out that nobody was taken care of at the time?
Yeah, obviously it's a relief when there are no civilians involved. Absolutely, yes.
Was this the Eastern Carolina Veterinary?
Yes,
facility that was slated to open next week?
Yes, I don't believe it was open yet, yes. So, yes.
I know you said this. You said 3 firefighters injured, right?
That's correct.
1 is in severe condition with burns in the hand.
1 had some pretty severe burns to the hands and arms, yes. What instigated the whole thing, I'll let you talk about it a little bit.
So shortly before the explosion, probably about 20 minutes or so before the explosion, WPD responded to the scene here for a vehicle that had turned onto New Center Drive from Bob King Drive and went off the road behind us here and struck the gas lines feeding the building that ultimately exploded. When officers arrived, the vehicle was gone, so it was a hit and run. We were able to locate that vehicle a short time later. I don't know the exact location the vehicle was located. The vehicle and the driver was located. There were signs of impairment on the driver. There was evidence that would lead one to believe that the driver was impaired. The North Carolina Highway Patrol is helping us out right now with evaluating that driver, just because, as Ms. Thurston pointed out here, this is an extensive manpower operation. So this is a perfect case in point of all different agencies from all different, the spectrum of public safety and public service are helping each other out. So we've got Highway Patrol helping us out with that. We do have that person in custody, and we do have that vehicle. Ultimately, that is what led up to this gas explosion, which the fire department will do everything they can to figure out what exactly happened there. But I'm going to tell you this. I've worked for the city for 24 years, and this is a moment right now where citizens of Wilmington and New Hanover County really need to be proud. I can tell you as a Wilmington police officer, not just as a lieutenant, every situation I've been to, whether it's a house fire, a traffic crash, or something of this magnitude, we have the most professional fire department I've ever seen in my adult life here. And when I arrived here, it was after the explosion, and just watching these men and women of the fire department work and do their thing, there was no confusion, there was no chaos. They were taking care of business. And that's no different than I've always experienced with the Wilmington Fire Department. And WPD and WFD have always worked so seamlessly together. This is really a proud moment for public safety for the city of Wilmington and Hanover County. We're going to get this thing wrapped up, and we're going to do everything we can to get things back to normal. So that's pretty much what I have right now. If you have any questions about the incident.
I've got one more question. I'm not sure who this will be directed to. I know we asked about an estimated road opening. Do we know any next steps? Do we have to get scooters out here? What's the next step with that?
Yeah, so once the emergency, if you will, is over, which I think is safe to say, we're kind of on the back end of that right now, so it's kind of coming to a conclusion. The police department is going to maintain this area closed so that firefighters and fire investigators can do what they need to do. I know it may seem pretty obvious what happened here. That doesn't mean that everybody involved doesn't want to dissect what's going on to figure out exactly what happened. And that's going to take time. So the PD is going to keep the area closed. So the folks conducting the investigation, which the fire department is going to be the lead on, they're the subject matter experts. We're going to keep it as closed as long as they need it. That's something we're not going to rush. But yeah, to your point, what's going to end up having to happen is we'll probably have to have some streets department folks come out here and clean the debris. There's a lot of debris behind us. There's debris in the parking lot next to us. There's kind of debris everywhere.
So anytime there's an injury or a large-scale operation like this, there will be other partners called in, like the ATF and folks like that, to do an investigation and to help alongside us. So there will be an investigation, and there will be that will take some time. So obviously, as soon as we know more, we'll share that with you guys.
Can you talk about a lot of the folks that I was talking to said you could feel the explosion when they were out here? Some even saying it kind of blew them back a little bit. Is that what you're hearing? And can you kind of talk about the magnitude of that explosion?
I wasn't on scene yet, but I have heard, yes, it was a very large explosion for it to be of this magnitude. So yes, I wasn't on scene yet.
Yeah, I wasn't on scene either. I've heard the same thing, Brad. Not in this exact situation. I've kind of experienced that also in the past. You have like a pressure wave that comes out from an explosion. I can tell you when I was at WPD headquarters on Best Street, and when I left, I was actually telling Rebecca earlier, when I left, there was a black plume that you could see from WPD that 8,000-9,000 feet in the air. So that's not feeling it, but that's oh boy. That could be bad.
Final thing, just, I was driving out here like everybody else. It's noon. It's South College.
Yeah.
It is packed.
Yeah.
The firefighters were going around and just doing amazing work just trying to get here. Can you talk about, this was about worst case scenario in terms of large fire, bad traffic, noon.
Yes.
But they were still able to get there on time.
Absolutely. So we do emergency vehicle practice driving. We actually have been doing that this last couple of weeks, and obviously that came in handy. It was a very busy time of day, very high traffic areas, and so we're thankful everyone was able to get here safely, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that I covered this part, but they did call a mayday after the explosion, and so they were able to extricate out of the building after that, but a mayday was called after the explosion when the fire first came out.